The news day continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. Certain meat products in Metro Manila market saw a dip in prices in the recent days. Prices of pork cuts at a market in Mandaluyong City saw cuts of up to 40 pesos, with pork chop and ground beef being sold at around 340 pesos per kilo. Chicken meat also dropped by 10 pesos and now sells for around 200 pesos per kilo. Prices of beef, on the other hand, remained at 400 pesos per kilo. Vendors say they are able to source sufficient supplies of pork and chicken from other provinces, despite the threat of the African swine fever. The Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura earlier said there should be no price increases expected in the near future, as the country still has enough supply of meat to last until year-end. Despite lower prices in some markets, one survey showed that 4 out of 10 Filipinos still struggle to make ends meet due to high prices of goods. According to Synergy Market Research and Strategic Consultancy, 36% of the nearly 3,500 surveyed individuals are experiencing financial difficulties due to expensive commodities. The survey was conducted from March 29 to April 5. It also showed that 7 of every 10 Filipinos plan to reduce their expenses in the next 12 months. But that's only if inflation does not slow down. Inflation cooled to 5.4% in June, down from over 6% in May. Amid these struggles, Senate President Mig Zubiri assures workers that he will continue to push for a legislated minimum wage hike of 150 pesos. In a statement, Zubiri says a 150 peso wage hike ensures that workers receive a decent living wage. He reiterates that the wage board's approved 40 peso minimum wage increase in Metro Manila is not enough. The Senate President noted that it is a start. Zubiri says he is amenable to a 100 peso hike for NCR because taken together with a previously announced 40 peso hike, this will bring the total increase to 140 pesos, not far from his proposed 150 peso wage hike. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The country's unemployment rate fell for a third straight month in May. Data from the Philippine Statistics Authority shows that unemployment fell to 4.3% in May. That's equivalent to 2.17 million jobless Filipinos. The latest figure is an improvement from the 4.5% or 2.6 million jobless Filipinos logged in April. Underemployment also fell to 11.7% in May, or about 5.66 million Filipinos looking to work additional hours or to find an additional job. That's an improvement from the 12.9% or 6.2 million recorded in April. National statistician Dennis Mapa says that 2.17 million jobless Filipinos is one of the lowest tallied in recent years. Among the top sectors that showed the highest year-on-year increase in the number of employed persons were agriculture and forestry, as well as accommodation and food service activities. The Justice Department is preparing to file a case of economic sabotage against traders allegedly involved in onion smuggling. DOJ Secretary Boying Remulla said they are looking at their notes on the congressional hearing on the spike of onion prices last year. The National Bureau of Investigation is helping the DOJ to gather evidence against the traders. Remulla said that in fact, some NBI agents already bought onions from them.
Nakapag-test buy pa nga ang NBI in Cebu. Na-locate namin kung sino nagtatago sa Cebu ng supply. So nakita talaga namin yung organization ito at work.
The DOJ is also looking at the 8 personalities mentioned at the congressional hearings. Remulla said they are the people behind the price manipulation of onions in the market. The Bangko Sentral may consider a rate cut if inflation falls within the target range. New BSP Governor Eli Remolona said the central bank would consider reversing its tightening cycle if inflation dips to from 2 to 4% in the fourth quarter. However, Remolona pointed out that output growth and policy moves of the U.S. Federal Reserve would also affect the Monetary Board's decision. Inflation slowed for a 5th straight month to 5.4% in June. The inflation downtrend and robust GDP growth in the first quarter allowed the Monetary Board to keep key policy rates untouched at 6.25% in its last 2 meetings. And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News. All sides, all the time.